Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Detroit Lions. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. But now it'll be third down. Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Strong right. Strong right. Everyone jump.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on first down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here. In this situation, they stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
Oh, you got deep?
3rd and short yardage, Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 20.
Check.
Here's Ty Johnson, rookie 6th-rounder from Maryland. And, right away, he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs first time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there is no such thing as a safe run, right? Right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. Got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Now Stafford. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check. Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Wide. 32. Switch.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there. And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Here I come. Check 99. Check 99. 25. Check 25. Check 25. Watch the safety creep. Tighten up. Monday. Check 3. He's checking.
Here's Damian Harris, 3rd rounder from Alabama. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go. Check. Lucky. 59. 32. Hey, turn it up. Bravo.
Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. And that will be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it.
Let's go, fellas.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
I'm coming for you, son. Wait, son.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll make it 2nd down.
It's a gain of 7.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do, because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Tight ends left. 4 down.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. Blitz coming, And down he goes.
Boom! That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
A loss of 9 brings up 4th down.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll kick it away for the second time. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the second time. This is taken at the 15. "35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
2nd and 4 at the 45-yard line.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
To throw is Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. They give to Johnson going right. Johnson on its poke free. Football's out. And this belongs to the Vikings. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
You got it. You got it.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
51. Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. First.
From the 38, Cousins. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
It's a gain of 8. First down.
What tight end?
First and 10.
Hey. 4 down.
First down, here's Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Deshaun Hand, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
All day, baby. All day.
To throw is Cousins. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jake Ryan, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And he was plus 5 seconds there with a football. Is there a time that a quarterback has to get rid of it?
Somewhere generally around 3 seconds. So just like we're playing in our turkey bowl, right, in our backyards. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. That ball better be gone because anything past that, that's usually...
Yeah, that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl corner Darius Slay. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their effort.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Yeah, they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 22 yards there, a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
22. I got you. Check 43. Hatchet. 80 weapon. Hey, give me radar.
2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
On 2nd down, it's Harris. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Damian Harris, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute. I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. And they're going to go with the jet sweep. This is Diggs with it. A very good move, but for a short gain out near the 32. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And Diggs has it. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. The Vikings first down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Cousins now. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Cousins. Buying time to his left. Gonna let it fly for Rudolph. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Cousins. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is brought in at the 21. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
59! Check safety, check safety! Big edge, big edge, big edge!
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And now a big play to start off this drive as the shot downfield is complete. A good pickup there at 22. Well, they've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you, push them deep, find some space, and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
Move! We got 4.
Again, it's Cook. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 4th touchdown on the year. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Bailey got the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown, so 7-7 the score as they begin first and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Stafford. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Start the ball inside the 5, start on the 5, on the 10. They should be ready to go.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Out of his end zone, Cousins. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke, and he will score. Touchdown, Lions.
What you just saw there, first-round talent, second year, even more success. A pick 6 for a touchdown.
A great play, and it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust in the secondary as a first-year guy, so that sophomore season is big for them.
They really started to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year 1. By year 2, they should have all the nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Tight end right, tight end right.
Back to it after the pick 6. Cousins. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. Now the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down. Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. To throw, Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it, because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Four down.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Check pass, check pass.
Cousins now from the 50. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Lions will take over at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
At the 21-yard line.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Check, 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 check. Back.
They go to Johnson again. They follow up the 1st down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
It's our time. Check. Leroy. Check. Slam.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Johnson. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 34 yards there and a 1st down.
34 yards. 1st down, Lions.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Kenny Galladay is intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Here's Johnson. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. Back at the 5-yard line now. 2nd and goal. There's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? A shotgun snap for Stafford. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
All day, baby, all day.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Kirk Cousins last year started all 16 games, but only led the Vikes to just 1 fourth-quarter comeback like he's trying to do here. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Trey Flowers in there to get him, and on the season now that is 9 sacks for him.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jake Ryan make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed.
Alert, alert. 3 down.
3rd and long for Cousins. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Well, there is still time to recover from this. It remains a 2-score game even with the 2 points there. But let's just say things not trending in the right direction.
I like that phrase. I'm going to say it along with you. Things are definitely not trending in the right direction. They needed something on that drive. Instead, they gave up 2 points and a lot of hope.
So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. Agnew now to return.
Let's go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Stafford. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
But it's not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
Back to the air, Stafford on 2nd down. And he'll find Hall. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
From the red zone now, Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. Now, those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there.
Set. Yellow lady! Yellow lady! Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch twin. Hey, 70! SOS, SOS, SOS.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. They get 1 yard back there to make it 2nd and 14.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. Stafford going to throw it. That is caught at the 7. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
First and goal at the 6-yard line.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Now Stafford. Toward the pylon, caught. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
They'll try and run with Harris, and he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Damian Harris with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Extra point good by Prater. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
The Vikings take over at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this. And
a big loss here as he's taken down. Trey Flowers has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
It's now third down and long.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. One last shot now for Cousins. Dancing to his left. He's going to let it fly. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked by Tracy Walker, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the one touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the